Welcome to Gallifrey's Most Wanted. I'm Ross Aiken. I'm old too.
My liege, I have no need of aid from Lucifer.
And my name is Melvin Pena, and I'm Yoo-hoo.
Damn you, cringing caitiffs. We tell you there's naught to fear. Do our demons come to visit us?
And we are going to travel back in time to the time of John Lackland, King John of England, and the King's Demon. Melvin has been very excited about this for months. Except because
I'm literally chomping at the bit.
Yes, because this is I take it this is one of your favorites, and it's not one of my favorites, but I think I may not be as Melvin. You might not have to do that much hard convincing. Okay, but let's jump to the synopsis, and we'll be right back. The King's Demon, Serial 6J. Writer, Terrence Dudley. Director, Tony Virgo. Script editor, Eric Saward. Producer, John Nathan Turner. Originally broadcast March 15th and March 16th, 1983. The TARDIS materializes on March 4th, 1215, during a joust held in the presence of King John. The king welcomes the travelers, whom he calls his demons. But his actions towards his barons seems unusually hostile. The Doctor discovers the king is, in reality, a shape-changing android called Chameleon, whom the Master found on Zarephath. Disguised as Sir Giles Estrom, the king's champion, the evil Time Lord plots to turn the barons against the king and prevent the signing of Magna Carta, thereby altering history. The Doctor eventually wrests Chameleon's control from the Master, exposing his enemy's plot. The android joins the TARDIS crew. Another wonderful synopsis from the Doctor Who Program Guide, the complete guide to every Doctor Who story by Jean-Marc Lavasseur. Please get one. It is well worth the price of admission. Mm-hmm. All right. I'm going to let you go first. Why is this two-parter so important? Because it's kind of I've always felt it as a kind of a throwaway between, and what's before it? Enlightenment and Five Doctors.
You're right, and I love this. I love season 20. I'm really, really excited. You may have some of our listeners who are Trap One listeners may have heard me on the episode with Mark talking about the recent Fourth Doctor run with Naris Hughes. Because Chris Chapman, who does the sort of DVD, he's the DVD extra producer or the Blu-ray.
Yeah. He's
Blu-ray
a genius,
extras.
people. What he's done with the Blu-rays is just we should just be bowing down and thanking him and all the guys that work on it, because as Jeff says, they are documenting the history of the show with it. It is far more than nice, pretty box sets. I was still behind them the last Pertwee one, and I watched Sea Devils on it. And Curse of Peladon over the last couple of days, and it's brilliant. So go back to what you were saying.
So but part of that box set, or part of that season, one of the stories was written by Chris Chapman. And the day that Mark and I recorded, they had just announced the new box set with the extended, like the new behind the scenes of the King's Demons, and I was just absolutely flipping my lid, because that is King's Demons is 100% my jam. Because I believe what I said on that podcast was, give me a janky robot playing a lute, singing about Total War every day of the week. That is my Doctor Who. That is one of the reasons why you get to the Jodie era and it takes you away, and you get the weird frog on a chair in a white room. I'm like, this is a Fifth Doctor story to me. This is when we could get absolutely insanely weird with stuff.
And I get you, because I'm a huge fan of Enlightenment. I think Enlightenment is in the old days was really underrated. But I think it's him against the gods. It's like one of my favorite Jodie episodes is Can You Hear Me? For two reasons. She's battling internal gods, the ancient races. They name check the Toymaker. They name check the Eternals. I read a lot of comic books, folks. You all know that. And a lot of Marvel, and they're, Thor, these godlike Galactus and Infinity and all these big things are huge, and I love it. And I love Enlightenment. But I don't really see King's Demon as much more than that, and there's stuff about King's Demon because I was in college when this came out. came out, and my brother would tape it off and send me, and I would get the VHS when I came home to visit, and I saw Davison. And Davison is the first new Doctor I ever saw. So he was my Doctor until Matt Smith came around, and I was like, Peter who? Go away. But this one has never been one of my favorites. So is it the historical part that?
Well, that part as well. Like, this is one of the things I believe I saw a tweet earlier today that was like the Fourth Doctor, his entire run, even though he was on TV for 7 years, I believe that there were only 4 stories set in the past.
Yeah.
Like not even historicals, but like set in the past.
Mask of Mandragora. That's one.
I've got it here. It's Mask of Mandragora, Horror of Fang Rock, Pyramids of Mars, and the Time Warrior. Whereas,
Time Warrior.
one.
Time
because
Warrior.
it's set in the Middle Ages. It's set in the Middle Ages.
No, but that's Third Doctor. That's Third Doctor.
You're right.
It's only
You're
3.
Right. You're right. No, so this is what the thing is. He says, so it's not the Fourth Doctor. He says that through the entire 70s. So in that decade, there are only 4 stories set in the past.
See that's oh. Okay.
But that's why that's one of the reasons I love this story is that it's the weird medieval stuff, which I love. It's castles, it's knights, it's jousting. Like in the first minute, like before anyone says a word, you've got a lute player, you've got a jester running around, you've got like hunting dogs in the corner. Like those dogs are beautiful dogs. I think they're sort of like wire-haired pointers or like Irish wolfhounds. They're beautiful dogs, but like the medieval setting, like we get. Davison has like 5 stories set in the Middle Ages, like just in the Middle Ages, and we don't do the Middle Ages anymore. And I love the Middle Ages. I love the castles. I love the bright colors. I love the Robin Hood vibes. I love all that stuff. So this ticks a lot of boxes for me. Aside from the fact that you can intersect that with a janky robot, like give me a robot with a list. I want that is Doctor Who.
Oh no! Have you listened to the Chameleon ones where?
Oh yeah.
They're really good with John Coltrane.
Yep.
They're really good. And he works better on audio. It's the best robot on audio because he's the worst robot. And, I mean, I know it. I really used to badmouth John Nathan Turner a lot. And then I watched some of the Chapman stuff and you saw the people who worked for him, how much love they had for him, even with all his faults. And he kept the show, and I always said, but he kept the show on the air for another 10 years. Because he thought it was important. He thought it was important. And he also brought back the historicals, and I agree because Visitation is one of my favorite Peter Davison ones. It's a great one.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and it is. And I
also love the Awakening. Like I
Awakening's
love
way
Doctor
underrated.
Who going. Yep.
And
I love it.
Black Orchid, it's become more problematic.
I love that one too.
I do too.
I do
too. I mean, I do because
I was telling someone, I think it was Rob Valentine, we were chatting on Twitter the other day or going back and forth about the cricket ball scene, which for me is like, it's the most pure and joyous scene, I think, in the entire classic series of them playing cricket. Like, I love it. And even Tegan is like, unironically cheering on the Doctor, and you just never see, you literally never see that.
Oh, I know. See, and I like
She's
that,
like,
but
well done.
It always bothered me that they had gotten rid of this quasi-historical, and I do. And as much as I love that Chibnall brought back, we had Rosa, we had Demons of the Punjab, we had other historicals, but stop inserting a science fiction reason. Just give them an adventure. You can have an adventure in the Wild West. You can have an adventure in Renaissance France without an alien. You don't need the you have the sci-fi element, the Doctor. Like but people ask, what's your favorite historical? And I think there are a lot that I like. I can watch the Aztecs all the time. I love it because I think it handles the culture with a great deal of respect compared to some of the other stuff they do.
And ironically, tangentially, it's one of the things that I love about this one is that I love the camped up aspect of the setting. Like I love the stilted faux medieval language, all the thous and these and stuff like that. Because nowadays, nowadays, like it doesn't matter what time zone you're in. Pretty much everyone is speaking modern English with contemporary slang, and I like my.
I don't like it when they throw in modern slang into a past person saying and say it's translated. That's silly. No, I like it, and I'm big on camp. I worked for a gay theater company for 25 years, and we used to do very camp shows, and they were my favorite. And I loved it. And Anthony Ainley, since I've started podcasting and met Jeff and some and the guy and the fans that that's their Doctor Who is because Jeff's first one was Logopolis, and that so he's their master. He was never someone I really. He wasn't my favorite master, but when I did my last rewatch and I went through Peter Davison, I enjoyed it so much more than I had the time before. And that's with rewatching. That's the nature of why nerds like me do that. Is because you get a different. It's when you're watching it. Takes a different. And I enjoyed it this time, and I liked it. And who's the actor that plays the chameleon in Prince John?
It's Gerald Flood.
Gerald Flood. He is just
terrific,
gloriously chewing the scenery as John.
Over the top. So
but
over
as
the
chameleon,
top, goes under and then back over the top again.
Oh my God! And the family are stupid.
Yes.
But like you don't. This guy who was originally disguised as this knight you thought was a jackass and a villain. Oh, but once he changed shapes, you're on his side. Because the guy came in the blue box. He flickered his disguise flickered off. I think he'd be a little more disturbed about that, But Anthony.
Well, I mean, that's
Anthony
one of the great
really
things talking about Ainley. Yeah, talking about Ainley though, the great thing about the King, the other great thing about the King's Demons, literally, there's nothing that's not great about the King's Demons, Ross. Is that weirdly, Ainley is the least camp thing in it. Like, he is so restrained in this. Like, I love that you, like, for the first full 5 minutes of the episode of episode 1, he is in every moment of every scene, and they never show his face. I'm like, that is restraint, and like, I love that he, again, like, even though he's putting on the weird faux French medieval
that was
accent,
a pretty.
That's even worse.
As much as I complained about gunfighters and its racist American accents.
Yeah, quite frankly.
Yeah. That really bugged me. It's like they sound like they're from Canada. If one of them had to say the word boot, it'd go boot. We at least think they were from Minnesota.
Yeah.
But
Ainley's
the French accent is really pretty insulting.
It's terrible.
It's almost Clouseau.
Yes.
And the mask is crap. It's like, come on. I mean, I want to think about it. What was the quality of the British television in the early 80s? It was better than some of his disguises.
Yeah, his makeup wasn't that bad. Oh,
I was
and actually the sort of
50s.
Lighter hair color looked really good on him.
Well, I watched it on a very large television screen, and it doesn't really. That's the problem about watching old Who on these modern TV screens, especially the black and white when it was meant to be watched on an 8-inch screen.
Well, that's the other thing watching this, and it's been a while since I had put it on. I've watched it like 3 times since you declared the intention of having me on, and each time with greater joy. But that first time I put it back on for the first time in a long time, it's the colors. The colors are so bright, and they're so bold, and they're so beautiful. I mean, that's the other thing is like, when people hate on sort of Robot of Sherwood, that's one of my favorite things about it is its Technicolor. It's so beautiful, like bright, beautiful Star Trek 60s colors. Like, I love that in Doctor Who.
Yeah, you know what? That's really funny because Victoria loves Robin of Sherwood.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've never seen Robin of Sherwood.
No.
Robot?
I mean the Robots of Sherwood.
Yeah.
Robin of Sherwood's a good TV show. It's actually it's a really good TV show.
Well, the Jester also, again, in that first scene, before anyone says a word, the Jester comes around and does his little dancing and prancing, and he's wearing that bright yellow outfit. It's like the boldest thing in that first scene. What I learned that I didn't know before is that guy is the actor who plays the Jester is Peter Burrows, who is the father-in-law of Warwick Davis. So there's like 1 degree of separation between this and Willow, and between this and Nightmare in Silver.
Nightmare in Silver is an underrated classic, and
I love Warwick Davis.
He's the best thing in that thing. As the king the emperor doesn't want to be the emperor, he is such a good actor in that because everything else is over the top, and he is so restrained and so concerned. You can see the fear in him. It's a brilliant
careworn.
Oh my God, I think it's brilliant.
But yeah,
there's some bad stuff in it. There's some dodgy plot points in it, but
of course.
But it's Doctor Who. I expect a dodgy plot point.
But yeah, my one sort of mark against this story is that Peter Burrows doesn't have any lines. Like, it would be great to have him as an active character in this.
Yeah, it'd be great because I did enjoy it much more. It's also because I think they should have done more two-parters.
Yep.
And more three-parters because I think the three-part format in the Sylvester McCoy era, some of those that's tight. You get rid of that stupid we got to go through the tunnels 2 or 3 times to fill some space, or or Harry going through some cave and having to avoid the same foam clamshell monster.
Yeah.
But I think it's great.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a runaround. I mean you're running up and around, but the runaround is in a castle, which at least is not the same corridors over and over again. And the castle setting is gorgeous also.
Oh yeah, but that's
and there's
why
a
I
cool
don't.
song and there's a sword.
We're going to get to the song.
What is it? What is there not to love in this story?
See, the best thing about them doing historicals, and I didn't understand why they didn't do it, is you can pull shit from stock. You want to save money, just borrow another set from storage. I did it for years in the small theater. I mean, I used same set pieces and just, and they'd have 20 coats of paint on them. Just do it. Just, you've got some of the best scenic designers for theater. I mean, because most of those sets are just theater sets. Really good theater sets. And the set's good. It's like an Errol Flynn movie, I mean, I grew up watching those old black and white and early color pirate and Robin Hood movies. I think on that aspect it works. The dodgy robot, I really kind of leaned into his performance as John.
Yep.
And gave him more, and just the robot is so primitive. It's not badly made,
but it looks so cool.
It does.
And it's got it beat Val Kilmer and George Clooney to the punch with the crazy suit that has nipples on it.
I forgot it had nipples on it. Oh Jesus!
That robot again. It may be not really functional, but it's beautiful.
It's a great idea of the silver androgynous.
Yep.
It's kind of like I don't know how big a Star Trek fan you are.
I'm a massive Star Trek fan.
When Lal.
Yep.
When she's got that neutral.
Data's daughter. Yep.
Yeah, and that's an episode that makes me cry every time.
And that's a weird thing. Since you bring that up, that association. Watching it again, like for the last time last night, when they first show Chameleon's head and it's got the see-through panel up here, the first thing that came to my mind was when Data first opened his
positronic brain.
Yep.
Yep. I'm in the middle of a big Star Trek rewatch, and I'm watching it in timeline order. Yep. So I'm jumping from Next Gen to Deep Space Nine because I'm that nerd. I have to refresh how I do my rewatch. And when I started one like 2 years ago, I did that. But I stopped for 18 months because I got to Spock's brain and went, I can't.
I love Spock's brain.
No, but then Nathan and Joe on Untitled Star Trek did Spock's brain, and I about peed myself. I've never heard a man say Jesus Christ so many times. If you're not listening to it. Do you listen to that one?
I don't know, dude. Yeah, I do, and I think Threshold gives that one a run for its money in terms of
did you see my post? Did you see my it was under my personal Twitter handle where it said, "Thank you for watching it, so I didn't have to."
And yeah, I mean, just to sort of steer it back to King's Demons, the Star Trek that pops into my head also is the one with, I think it's Q, isn't it Cupid, where Q sends them to...
Oh, the one where they go to Robin Hood?
I'm not a merry man.
I'm not a merry man. That is probably one of my top 3 Q episodes. When I first saw it, I really was like going, this is stupid. But the minute he smashed the lute and goes, I'm not a merry man.
And then, like, you hear that, and you look down, and Data's got an arrow sticking out of his chest.
See, what gets me is the comedy part. Some Star Trek shows don't do comedy well. Next Gen had problems with. Deep Space Nine had it down pat. But it's nice to see a little comedy. I think Gerald Flood is brilliant as King John.
Yes. We need to get back to. But this is the thing, because you were talking about the lute. Like, this is the other thing that came into my head watching King's Demons this time, is that live entertainment there in the castle. You've got a lute player, and the lute player I think is credited. So I think they actually had a lute player like there. But so they have a lute player, they've got a jester, they've got live entertainment, and these are dudes who, because we're in the Middle Ages patronage system, you don't have to worry about touring, you don't have to worry about playing independent venues and smelly green rooms, or like the venue taking a cut of your merch. It's like, even the performers have it better in King's Demons than they do these days.
Oh, I know. So, folks, Melvin I'm going to see if this works. If it doesn't work, we'll record this. Melvin has recorded a version of this song, and I'm going to play it. So while he giggles because he thinks this is the funniest thing in the world, I'm going to see if I can share this screen. Hold on. Oh, come on. There you go. Are you going to let me do it? No. Hold on a second. I'm going to make this work. So, did you actually...
Okay, so
you did not just teach yourself this song now. You've known how to play the song for a while, haven't you?
No, absolutely not. I 100% learned how to do it yesterday because I was determined to record a version of this brilliant song. Which again, I mean, this is the other thing. You get a cool song, and it's weirdly topical because I mean we're now on year 1000 of white people sticking their nose in the Middle East. That's like the historical background of King's Demons that doesn't even barely comes into the story. But that's what the song is about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I've been very careful of not talking. Folks have very strong opinion in the Middle East, but the number one reason is European people pissing in that pool for 2,000 years.
Yep.
I mean, it is very much that.
And the whole thing of this episode and the weird thing about the song is that the king is nominally there at the Castle Fitzwilliam, to collect more money to fund his wars abroad, the wars of religion, especially in the Holy Land. I think they're on the Third Crusade at this point. But that's what keys the Doctor in that something's going on, is that King John, like the next day, historically, is supposed to be in London, taking his oath as a Christian knight. But one of the great words that comes in this song is scutage, which is the practice of paying the king to keep your sons out of military service. So sort of like legitimate draft dodging. But that's what the song is. That's what the song is about.
We've always had that. I mean, we had that in the Civil War. We had that in every war we ever had. And rich kids who went to college didn't have to go to Vietnam. My dad used to lament about that. The people he led in battle were always the poorest.
Yep.
Me and him had a discussion one time about we need a draft. And he was like, why would you want a draft? I said, to start drafting some of the rich guys' kids.
Yep.
And to get a better officer corps, because it was in the 70s and 80s when some people were a little too right wing and should have been in charge of weapons.
Yeah, but there was something really like listening to it over and over again, trying to learn it. I was gonna sing it like the natural way, like the way that Gerald Flood sings it, but like the more I practiced trying to learn it on the like internet piano, which is crazy. Like I don't play piano at all. Like I learned how to do it on my little keyboard via the internet. But the more I played it, I'm like, wait a second, I can turn this into like a Donnie Darko style, because they did that cover. Gary Jules does that cover of Tears for Fears' Mad World.
Oh, God,
and every movie does it now, where they take like an 80s pop song and turn it into like a really like heartfelt ballad. So I'm like, I'm doing that.
It weirds me out, these songs that I loved as a teenager, because I'm an 80s kid. I mean, I graduated high school in 83. I love, oh God.
This is terrific here, because Ross has not yet heard.
I've not heard it. And can you see my screen? Can you see the player?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm hoping it records it into the Zoom the Zoom recording.
If not, we'll find a way to splice it in.
I've got downloaded. I'll if this doesn't work, I'm cutting it out and putting it in. So here we go, folks. Can you hear it?
No, I can't hear it at all.
Okay, so I'm hoping it's recording it on my end. Oh, that sucks.
We sing in praise of total war. Against the Saracen we abhor.
And this is really good. Bravo, Melvin. Oh, this is definitely the exit.
Right here in these streets playing that lute.
The tomb of Christ our Lord.
What?
But yeah, I had to record a contemporary 2023 movie trailer version of the King's Demons song.
Okay. Folks, I don't know if you're hearing it, but it's wonderful. I'm gonna put it. I will listen back and let Melvin know, but you will get to hear it at the end of the episode, because it will be the exit music. It just makes me think about a PBS special with Sting where he was talking about how he learned to play the lute.
Greater than
can see Sting doing this.
Dude, 10 Summoner's Tales, again, give me all the faux medieval nonsense you got. I love Sting. People give him all kinds of nonsense, give him all kinds of crap. He's a great singer. He's a great bass player. I love the Police.
No.
I love only those policemen.
I saw him
Only those police.
saw him in 1982 for Synchronicity with the Go-Go's open up for him.
That's so amazing.
Oh,
I only got to see them with a reunion tour in like 2007, I think, at Wrigley Field. It was amazing.
Oh my God! Well, let me unshare.
Yeah,
this
I wish I could have experienced that with
well,
you.
I think it's well worth the fun. That was a lot of fun, man. I appreciate it. You did a really good job.
Thank you, dude.
You know,
I love singing. I love karaoke.
I'm glad it wasn't me singing. I sing like an Episcopalian. It's just awful.
Well, this is the other thing. We were talking about U.S. Jason on the Children in Need cutaway. But when he did King's Demons a little while back, he had someone record like a unique song for like every flipping episode now. I'm not letting the team down. If I'm coming onto a podcast, I'm raising the stakes.
Oh no, I appreciate it. That was worth it.
Ross has another work call.
No, it was not a work call. It was a spam call. Jesus. All right. But I think I liked it. I think I really enjoyed this more. I really do.
Yep.
I'm probably a terrible Peter Davison fan.
Okay.
Because I am. He is my classic Who. He's probably, him and Hartnell's moved up a lot in the last couple of years because the renaissance of William Hartnell.
Mm-hmm.
But I prefer this TARDIS team.
Yeah, this team, that's one of the things that I had written down to talk about is like, I love this, because Nyssa has just left in Terminus, like maybe, 2 stories ago? Or maybe
no,
the story
there's only
before?
one. Yeah, the story, no, Enlightenment's the first one with this TARDIS team. This is 2, and the next one is the third one. And it doesn't really count because it's so, 5 Doctors is so diluted with so many other characters.
Yep, but Tegan and Turlough and the Doctor, it's such a good team. Like, I love this team together. I also really kind of like, because Turlough, in the context of the season, has already sort of had his big sort of arc, which ends in Enlightenment.
Yeah.
So it's good that in this episode, he's sort of like sidelined, sort of pushed off to the side. You know, he's mostly like in the dungeon. He gets one line, and it's at the very end, and somehow it's like, it's a weird rhyme. What is it like? He's like, because he's never met the Master, and so he's holding a sword out as they're backing into the TARDIS, and he's like, "I've had quite enough of you, whoever you are. So don't try me too far." And I'm like, "What are you doing?"
What I like is when he's dealing with the Lord of the Castle's son, he's like, "Stop blaming me." He's such a whiny bitch.
I love it though, and
I do. I like it because the next season of Davison gets a lot of grief for the Eric Saward stuff, but I really, my last rewatch went, that's a pretty solid season of Doctor Who.
Yep.
I think it hold up a little bit better because I think I overlooked some of the flaws because Davison, and I know he would have liked to have some Nyssa by itself, but I think him and Janet Fielding, they're
so good together. That combative relationship.
And there is really a change in their relationship.
Yep.
So when she leaves, she gets a good ending.
Yep.
She does get a good ending. I remembered it worse because most Doctor Who exits are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really bad. You really rarely get a good one. And hers is pretty good because it's kind of like I just covered Fury of the Deep with Frasier.
Yep.
And that Victoria has, now that we can watch it in the animation, she has such a glorious exit. It's so well written. It starts in the first episode, and it's her whole plot line of, I'm tired of this. Yep. This is not fun. You guys are crazy.
Yep.
And Janet gets that. And this one is a nice little, I like these two-parters. I think I liked it better.
And this one, and you're right, this one gives them a break because what you're saying, absolutely. Tegan has a phenomenal arc. It's a really up and down. It's a roller coaster. It's very emotional. Like, this is one of the things that I noticed rewatching this story this time is what an ass the Doctor is to her. Like, he is continually gaslighting her. He is continually telling her that her fears are unfounded. He is continually palming her off when she is voicing very legitimate concerns. But Tegan, like, she gives as good as she gets. So I love that there's like almost a continual sparring, but that in this particular episode, like, it's a bit lighter fare, and you deserve a break between like traumatic, like losing your aunt, and then like, having to, when she finally leaves with the Dalek story a little bit later on. Like, it's good to have a little bit of fun, a little run around now and again.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree too. It's just a light adventure, and that's what I think the historicals, they serve a purpose.
Yeah.
They really do, and they are something that is so very needed.
Yeah.
And this one I enjoyed it a lot more. It didn't bug me as much. Sometimes I just go into it jaded, I think. Sometimes also when I do rewatches, you're watching a lot of Doctor Who in a row.
Yeah.
And sometimes stuff gets missed. I mean, I'm in, like I said earlier, I'm in my great Star Trek rewatch, and I'm doing it in timeline order, and I got up to the episode Lessons, where Picard falls in love with another officer, and blah, blah, blah. I'm 15 minutes into it, and I said, I'd rather have a colonoscopy. This is absolutely aggravating. This is such a piece of shit. And I just, it's 80s TV.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It's just 80s TV, and the TV has changed. It changes. It's like a snowball. It gets better. Because, comparing modern Who to this Who, they're very different. My joy of Chibnall was the stories, though they were created and written in the 21st century,
mm-hmm.
the overall kind of stories you had were closer to classic Who.
Mm-hmm.
Very one and doney. More about the story and less about the angst of the character.
Mm-hmm.
Because at times rewatching Modern Who, sometimes I'm like going, this is. Can we have him have the Doctor move past some of his post-traumatic? Can we give him something else? And I think they do it with Capaldi.
Yep.
Because it's more about what am I? Because he's just had that, am I a bad man? Am I a good man anymore? Because all the damage done to him, and then there's a definite arc of he's kind of a prat. He's a little better. He's been a lot. He's way better, and he's just the Doctor in the third season. So
he has such a great I think of any of the Doctors, he has sort of the best character arc.
He has one.
People come. Yeah, he has one at all. Is great. Which is, again, it's not really a knock on Davison as much as it is just observational. But you watch this particular story, The King's Demons, and he's not very nice. He's not very nice to Tegan. He's not very gracious to her.
He's not. But see, that's what I loved about him, because he's so much like Hartnell. He is not.
Yep.
They thought you were going to get this warm, sunny young man, and he said, I just played Tristan. I'm not doing Tristan. That would be stupid. He's very a jobbing actor, and watching him interviewed that he doesn't take. I think he takes his work seriously, but I think he also takes it, like when I've seen Bonnie Langford talk when she's interviewed by Matthew Sweet, that you get that. It's like I wasn't paying attention to the politics of the show because it was a job, and another job would come along, and I would just go from, because that's what you do in theater, is you go from one job to another, from one group of people to another. You make friends, but your life doesn't revolve around them, because you're going to move on to another group of people. And I think he's very much a jobbing actor. He has that mindset.
And that's one of the things where
he doesn't take it too seriously.
Yep. And people have this impression, though, of the Fifth Doctor as either beige, or that, from the Target novelization, as the pleasant, open face. They almost see him as
but
Doctor.
He's a prickly.
He's prickly. That's exactly the word. He's prickly. He's hard to get along with. He's very solipsistic. He's very self-concerned. He doesn't really pay attention to anything going. He is. He's a much more complex Doctor than I think people give him credit for. And I really what I'm saying. What I'm doing is not pointing out character flaws in him. I'm saying that these are things that are features of his Doctor.
They are character choices he makes as an actor right from the get-go. That he was going to channel the old man in a young man's body. And it was the right choice because it was so different. And he knew who he was succeeding.
Yep.
Geez, man, ham sandwich. There is part of me, the person who's directed actors and been a stage manager, Tom Baker's the type of actor I want to throw a rock at. Because it's an ensemble. This is collaborative art. I harp on this. It's why When I watch, I'm a big baseball fan, as is Melvin,
Yes.
and I'm not a
Yes.
stat head. I appreciate modern stats. I do. I've learned to understand, as they refine them, why they're important. But I'm not following the stats. I never dreamed of being a general manager. I don't give a crap. I want to watch the team sport that I was kind of good at and enjoyed. And it's about collaboration, because it's the game where it's a lot like cricket. There's a lot of the single.
Yep.
The individual has a part to play, but he still has to work in unison with the other 8 people on the field.
And that's one of the
theater
other
and film is like that. It's really a collaboration.
It's one of the other benefits, I think, of this particular story, especially being a 2-parter, is that the cast is small, and that we get used to the different pairings. Like, we get the Doctor and the Master for sure, and like, I love that mental fight that they go through in episode 2, where it's like their faces are flashing on both sides of Chameleon's head. I love that. But
the go-to mind battle special effect for Doctor Who.
But we get Fitzwilliam and the Doctor, and we get like various pairings where we get to see, like, it's a very we got maybe 4 or 5 sort of main characters through these 2 episodes, so we get to see a lot of the speaking parts interacting with each other, and I like spending time with these characters.
I do too, and I want to bring something up, and I'm just really kind of realizing. So I watched it twice in the last 2 days. In between reading comic books and doing some podcasting, Buddy came over and we watched The Children in Need, and then I'm a big fan of Trek Culture and Who Culture. Support them. They do great videos. They are very even and fair. They will call a bad moment, but it's all about love. It's not about. And Sean, the Trek Culture host, is absolutely a joy. He does these ups and downs that I watch religiously, and it's great. And was watching that, but I watched this one, and what I was thinking of, as you were just saying about how the pairings and stuff, I want to say something is a 2-parter, watching it back to back. It is lean. It is very lean.
Which is great.
I didn't realize I'd gone from one episode to another, because I don't really, if I'm watching on DVD, I skip the music. Jeff will scold me. No, you have to listen to all the music. I've heard the damn theme song, but I know it.
I love the Davison theme too.
I do too.
I love it.
I do too. But it's very lean. So this in the omnibus form was pretty good. It was only really like 38 minutes long.
Yep.
I think it works fine. I think it's great. I'm looking forward to when we get season 20. Are you getting the Blu-ray sets when they come here?
No, not as they come out. I usually get them when they go on sale.
No, that's cool. I get them. I have my Amazon discount. It's good enough, and I get them. And then I sell the Blu-ray. I mean the DVDs. So because I'm not double dipping.
There's no need for it. It's too much.
No, but I do double dip on the animated, because I get the Steelbook. The collector in me wants a Steelbook, and I have a region-free player. And when my wife's saying next time when the living room one dies, we'll just buy a second region-free, because they're the same price nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But and I ordered the Daleks I should have my Underwater Menace by Thursday. I'm excited. I hate that story. It's so bad. And I ordered the Daleks in color Steelbook. Amazing. And I heard a rumor. What the next color one is, I will not say it, but when we're done, I'll tell you what the rumor is. I don't want to say it because
all right, very good.
Don't want to out the person who told me the rumor what the next color one will be. But it's a joy. I mean, I like all Doctor. There are very few that I kind of not Hormsen. I will watch Hormsen Nyman just for what's the hussy line.
I can't remember all the time.
Something I know you're talking about. But Nightmare of Eden. With the Mandrell sister monsters. No one get, but no, you get the joke. They're wearing flared pants like the Mandrell sisters did. Well, my household, you watch a variety show, whether you liked it or not.
Mandrell.
Oh my God! So, my mom loved those shows. Loved them. So did my dad. They're terrible. But this one is I really am. I kind of.
And we haven't even talked about the Master's ridiculous scheme.
Well, no, it's God. What's the point? Because the alien master has a dumb scheme.
Yes, it's a dumb scheme, and like he's literally, because he tells the Doctor he's got this plan to take over the universe with Chameleon and like be the Lord of Chaos or whatever, which is it's insane. But like this is Tuesday for the Master, you know? Like, this is another one of his, like, you think he's bothered that the Doctor beats him at the end? He's just like, you know, I'm going to go to the beach for a while, and then I'll be back, you know? I'm not going to stop doing crazy shit.
Oh, I know. He's such
I love the insanity of the idea, though. I'm imprisoned on a planet. They've got a robot here that can change shape. I can like puppet him with my will. I'm gonna go and mess up Magna Carta. Like, why not? 12:15. Here we go.
It's a plan that's so dodgy. The meddling monk would have gone, oh, that's beneath me.
Yes. Also, I've got to shout out the Master's TARDIS as an Iron Maiden. That's genius. I love that.
I know. I like the Master. I think the Master always has a better TARDIS set.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, no. Oh, and the Ronnie's one's gorgeous, I think.
Mm-hmm. But I love that he even goes through the trouble of screaming when they put him in the Iron Maiden, and then he just disappears.
I know. You know, his Master is kind of crazy. He's very different. I think he is very blah ha ha, and that's an intentional choice on his and Nathan Turner.
As it were.
Oh yeah, he does have a great laugh. And I would like to have met the man, because he's like he's supposed to be a very quiet man. All he really wanted to do was crosswords and cricket.
Yep.
And
he seems like
I
a
know
really good
guy.
guy.
I know actors that do crochet and listen to baseball games or so. You know, it's kind of like that actor tick. What do you do during the downtime because there's so much? But overall, I'm going to say this: I enjoyed it better this time. You didn't have to convince me. I did enjoy it. I wasn't cringing. I think the last time through I kind of cringed, and it may have been because I just watched one of my favorites, because Enlightenment.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Mind blowing.
This is King's Demons is a palate cleanser. You know, it's a run around. It's fun. Again, the Master's plot is silly, but it's supposed to be. It's fun.
And I don't think they thought of it as the season finale. Because they knew that the 20th was coming up in a couple months, so they didn't they didn't really do season finales.
And even if it was, like, again, this is a good palate cleanser. Like, it's a good way to get us, like, you know, to wind up what's been like a bit of a tumultuous season, at least for the characters. You know, you lost Adric, you lost Nyssa. You know, we're moving into, what is it, like the 20th anniversary?
This is the 20th season, and the 20th anniversary is in I think, when did this air? Hold on, let me see.
I think it's like 82, right?
Well,
81.
God, hold on, glasses and lean in.
83.
83. March 16th, 1983.
So we're into the 20th anniversary. It's
great. Yeah.
It's fun.
The 20th season ended in the 20th year, and then they had April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and then 7 months later, 7.5 months later, you got the 20th anniversary. And the Five Doctors is fun. It's not my favorite anniversary one.
I do want to say that there are a couple of things that I not necessarily had problems with, but things that I wanted to remark on as sort of not my favorite things. One is that Tegan has, you were talking about the 80s-ness of this, and I love their outfits. Like, when they come out of the TARDIS at the very start during the joust, like Turlo has that very sleek silhouette with the schoolboy uniform. I think if you put a hat on him, he would look like any ska kid in Coventry in the 80s listening to Two-Tone Records.
Put a little black Panama hat on his head, or
you need a little hat. But Tegan's dress in this is phenomenal.
I love this costume.
Then, like, within 2 minutes, they cover it up for the whole episode. That drives me insane.
It's the red and it's the multicolored.
Yes.
Colored. I like that outfit.
But then they put it under better than cowhides.
Oh yeah, but it's so much better than the tube top.
But anyways, I love that dress, and I hate that they cover it up. Another thing that I don't particularly like is the horses. Like, I love horses. I work for a horse tack company. And I don't love that the stunt riders are, like, pulling on the bits in the joust scenes, and, like, when they're trying to, like, set Jeffrey, set him free from the castle, like, the way that they treat the horses isn't very good. I'm much more of a positive reinforcement sort of person, and I sort of prefer bitless riding these days, and I would prefer to see the leads attached to the rings on the noseband rather than, you know, people pulling against the bits that are in the horses' mouths. I don't care for that.
Oh, I never even noticed that had changed. That's
I
good.
wouldn't have noticed if I didn't work for like selling horse tack on the internet.
Oh, that's okay. I get it. But it's like I know more about elevators than I ever give a crap because I run a maintenance phone line at a hospital. It's like there's other things I'd rather have in my brain.
Yes,
like
my coworkers are going to go insane when I play this bit back for them on the podcast, and here I am talking about bitless bridles and cheek pieces and whatnot.
Well,
but yeah, y'all, bitless is the way to go.
Yes. So hey, Melvin's coming back on the next episode. I'm gonna Google this. We're gonna more music. Because
soon, Ross. Soon we shall sit at meat.
Yes. Oh my God. Oh, what's the Colin Baker? I'm gonna have to Google it. But the next
it's the
Colin
Pirates.
Baker,
Doctor Who and the Pirates.
Yes, Doctor and the Pirates, and we get to hear Colin Baker sing. I think that's what he's doing. But I actually played a little. I was going, oh, we're doing that, and I went on Spotify and went, is there any Gilbert and Sullivan? Because I will admit, folks, I kind of like a little bit of Gilbert and Sullivan. A nice production of it is good. I have seen some great, and Vic's mother was in it all at her assisted retirement home. They have their own Gilbert and Sullivan Society, and to see a bunch of 70s, 80s, and 90-year-old people do the Mikado, I think I have some trauma. It was to look at it, and me and Victoria just going, I love your mom, Vic. I'm going to show her my support, but shit, this is awful. But I'm looking forward to it because I like that episode. I think it's very neat. I like it when they play with storytelling, and I love Big Finish, and I love Evelyn, and I don't have many more Evelyn stories to cover.
And it's very over. It's very over the top too. Like it's a very camp story. I've been listening back to it the last sort of week. I'm gonna hear it a couple more times before we record. But it's
cool.
It's joyous. It's fun. I think
I don't know how versed in Gilbert and Sullivan you are.
Not very. I mean, most of what I know about Gilbert and Sullivan comes from season 2 of The West Wing, when they recruited the Ainsley Hayes, the Republican staffer, to be part of the John Larroquette's legal team.
Yeah. I love that. I would recommend. It's a Mike Leigh movie. It's called Topsy Turvy. It is about.
I think I have seen that one. It's a long time ago, but
okay, rewatch it. It's worth it. Also realize since it's Mike Leigh, there's no script.
Yep.
There was no script. He puts all the actors and they rehearse, and he gives them they set up things, and then he creates a script from those workshops. And this is one where they all have to perform the Mikado.
Isn't he the dude who made those movies with Julie Delpy and Ethan Hawke, the Before Sunset, Before Sunrise?
No, I don't think that's him. He did the one about. Yeah, I'd have to Google him. He does some really heavy.
No, that's
drama.
Richard Linklater. That's my
and they're the guy that got Dazed and Confused. Those are great movies though. But no, he's done some heavy stuff. And he's had a few Oscar-nominated movies. They're normally really heavy. This one is light and wonderful. And Gilbert and Sullivan are played by Jim Broadbent and Simon Cowell. Not Simon Cowell. The guy played
Simon Callow.
Simon Callow. And they're very good. And Shirley Henderson's in it.
He played Dickens in the Eccleston Christmas special, and he played. I love him. I came to know Simon Callow first as Schikaneder in Amadeus.
Oh, that's right. He is in Amadeus. Yeah. But no, you'll love them. They're great. It's great. It's great. Shirley Henderson's in it as one of the female leads. It's really wonderful, and it really gives you an idea of the cultural appropriation and how where they get their ideas, and about actors in that era, and about their foibles and fear. And as a former stage manager, I didn't realize what a 19th century stage manager was like. It was very kind of weird to see it.
Speaking of which, you have BritBox. Have you ever seen Tipping the Velvet?
Yes, I've not watched it in a long time. Victoria's big fan of it. And
what you were just saying reminded me 100% of that, because it's so behind the scenes 19th century stage stuff. I love it.
Yeah. And that's very interesting.
I was on a big Keeley Hawes tip.
Yeah,
Vic. How can you not be? She's so good.
Vic loves her. When she finally showed up, she was very happy, and she's a big fan of Tipping the Velvet. Because the other star, there was another star was in a bunch of. God, it's a British movie, so probably they've been in Doctor Who by now. So, all right, Melvin, where can other places people can find you on the interwebs?
I pop up from time to time on the Trap One Doctor Who podcast, which is great. I'm super, super pleased about that. Like, one of my goals this year, even though it may seem a stupid goal, was to be on a Doctor Who podcast. And the fact that Mark and you welcomed me in when we talked about the Eighth Doctor way back in like February, like that was my Doctor Who podcasting debut, and I owe Mark quite a bit for introducing me to this world and to the family of podcasters that make it up the Trap One sort of orbit, including Gallifrey's Most Wanted, including U.S. Jason over at Doctor Who Literature, including Joe Ford over at Hamster with a Blunt Penknife. Like, it's, which I'm going to do one of those at some point. It's coming up. Joe recruited me to do the Day of the Doctor, so look forward to the Day of the Hamster. Like, that is coming.
Oh, well, I'm excited. I jump in and out because there's a lot of Joe. There's a lot. So I jump in, and when you like Frasier and you guys do it, and then sometimes I will just put it on for like a week ago. I'm just going to listen to Hamsters for a while to get kind of caught up. Because
if you search, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Because I've had to cut back on some. I have to mix some non-nerdy podcasts into my ears sometimes, like some true crime or Ghost of the Appalachia, which is a horror one, which is it's really like a audio play. It's with beautiful music. I get things like that, but I got to catch up. But what were you saying?
But yeah, I did my first podcast with Joe and Mark a few weeks ago. That's going to come out probably after the anniversary specials on the latest Ninth Doctor box set, which is going to be a lot of fun. It was the first time I'd ever podcasted with Joe, and it was so wonderful to meet him. He's such a high energy guy and such a high energy and lovable character. Oh no! But yeah, to podcast with him and Mark was like, I felt like a ping pong ball.
Yeah.
Or maybe Mark was the ping pong ball.
I know Mark's a good instigator of conversation. I like being on a podcast with Mark because Mark brings up good things. You do too. That's why I've had you back, because you're going to bring up things that I'm not thinking about. Because one, probably the number of times, my head is so saturated with this stuff, and I can be a little jaded. And it's been kind of hard in this gap between Jodie and New Who. It's been this is a big gap.
It has been. It's been like 13 months.
Yeah, it's kind of like I've only been watching. I've not done a New Who rewatch in years because I've just during the pandemic I just met all these other podcasters and fell in love with watching the old stuff again. But I'm going to have you back on because it's
been amazing being.
No, go ahead.
Becoming a part of this community. It's been really, and y'all have all welcomed me into it, and I'm really grateful for that. Oh, but I was going to say, other places you can find me are. I'm on Instagram at Melvin _Pena, Pena, and I'm on Blue Sky at that as well, Melvin _Pena.
Oh, send that to me so I don't know if I friended you on Blue Sky.
Yeah, and then I'm on Twitter at Kittenry, Kittenry.
Yeah.
But if you just search for Melvin Pena, Pena, I'm not hard to find on the internet. Seriously, it's actually embarrassing. It's actually a concern.
I know. Somebody's like, your personal stuff's out there. I've insulted some really important people and it's recorded and it'll be on the internet forever. I don't care.
Yeah, no, people are always worried about their 5G being in their vaccines and whatever. I'm like, dude, you are so easy. Like, you have no idea how easy it is to find you.
Oh my God.
Without vaccine. So please just go get a vaccine.
All right.
Speaking of which, please go get a vaccine.
Yes, please. I've had COVID twice. Don't get it. I don't want it a third time. We've had a couple bouts of people coming in with it into the building. Hey, you can go. Get away from me.
Yep.
All right, folks. Well, thank you, Melvin. In 2 weeks, you will hear me and him talking about the dulcet tones of the late, great Maggie Staples and Colin Baker with another big finish. I finally finished reading the first New Adventure novel, and it took me 35 years. So I'm gonna have Jason come on and talk about it because he's the book person.
Yeah.
And once we hang up, I'm gonna ask you about some future stuff and see what you're available for. And because Melvin will be back on because he's at York.
Soon you shall join my household at meet. Which is one of my favorite things about this is that we may actually end up doing that because I may actually end up making plans to come up to Richmond.
Yeah, we need to
in a couple weeks.
I'd like to come down and we'll record something when you're here because I think.
But what I was gonna say about that is like I love seeing that pig on the table in the King's Demons. Like literally the first thing that came to my mind is like they are eating Eastern North Carolina barbecue. The vinegar barbecue sauce is just off screen. Like they just haven't brought it in yet. Like that is a wood-fired pig. Like and it was made at one of those white buildings that's tacked onto the side of a gas station. Like,
Yeah.
I've got this headcanon for the meat in the King's Demons. Like, I love that. We shall soon sit at Meat Ross. It's going to
Yes.
happen.
Yeah, I live in Virginia, and I won't eat Virginia barbecue. It's a pork chop on a piece of bread. It's disgusting.
Nonsense. It's nonsense.
It's a no. Carolina, and if there's not enough, if the amount of vinegar in the sauce doesn't make my whole face cave in, you
It's
made
not
it
worth
wrong.
eating. Yep, it's not exactly.
I don't want it
Ross,
sweet.
I knew you would be on the same. I brought it up. I knew you would be on the same page.
Oh no. My wife's from North Carolina.
Okay, good.
So
And if you've got a place up there, we're gonna go when I come.
there's some real weird random ones, but not. There was this one place that it's just one of many dishes they serve, and it made me go, oh my god, what? Oh, that's. But there's some good one. There's one in walking distance from my apartment. There's some good.
Amazing.
It's the South, so there's a barbecue place.
Okay, good. That's what I like to
And
hear.
Richmond's a foodie town. We have chains, but we don't do chains. You know,
Yeah, no.
we have, like, I got a buddy who went to college with, fraternity brother of mine, who owns like 6 restaurants. But until then, look forward to seeing you somewhere in time or space.
We sing in praise of total war. Against the Saracen we abhor. To free the tomb of Christ our Lord, we'll put the known world to the sword. There is no glory greater than to serve with gold the Son of Man. No riches here on earth we'll see, no scutage in eternity.